Hey, Dana here, and welcome to my garage. All right, I've completed the bearing and the brake pad replacement on the passenger side. Now we're going to go ahead and do it on the, just going to do the pads on the driver's side. You have to put, I guess it's optional, I don't know, it's totally up to you. Put the vehicle in brake maintenance mode. By putting the vehicle in the brake maintenance mode, what it does is it retracts the electric brake solenoid to bring that the piston back. You're still going to have to compress it just like a regular caliper piston after it's been released from the parking brake. So we're going to do that right now. It doesn't appear to be necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. What you have to do is you've got to put it in. You're not going to start the motor up. You're going to push the accelerator pedal all the way down. Hopefully you can see. Okay, they say to put it like you're going to start the vehicle. Push your accelerator pedal down all the way. Now push your park button down. Turn it off. Turn it back on while you got the pedal down and your button down. And then turn it off. And then turn it back on. And then release it. Huh. There it is. There he is. It did it.
Now, to take it out, you're going to do the same procedure, but you're going to pull up on the parking brake button.
All right, here we are. I got the freaking wheel off. Nice and stuck on the hub. I even checked this when I was doing it the other day. Okay, so we're going to need here, you're going to need your compressor there. Let's see, where's my, you're going to need a number 7 and an Allen. Of course, your torque wrench. Pull these little springs off. You're going to put a new one back on it. And then, of course, make sure you got some grease. You're going to do your sliders. And you're going to make sure your little areas where the pads are greased so they'll slide. So let's get to it. All right, also with the sliders, you got a little boot cover on both of them, which is great because it seals it and you shouldn't get any moisture in it. But we're in the salt belt. It doesn't make a difference. Okay. Here's the sliders, the bottom one. See how much crap on it? I'm going to put it on the wire wheel. That cleaned up. The top one, I can do the same thing to that. Usually what I do is I take a Phillips screwdriver and I stick it through the hole here. And then as I'm backing it out, I can go ahead and shove it right out the back. Because sometimes they're not sliding. So of course that's making the piston here not retracting like it should. All right, all nice and shiny now. You really can't see it, but anyway. All right, make a mental note of how your brake pads are in there. You got your spring-loaded one on the inside, and then you get your non on the outside. Okay, this has actually got the T. I just do it. Okay, so as you can see, this is going to be on the inside, and then we got these two Detroit axle. Yep, and you got your little spring-a-ling that's going to be on the outside, accompanying this. This has got 2 T's, so they're going to go just like that. You're going to want to. They do give you some some brake grease, which is good. Put those on there. Make sure your caliper mounting bracket is cleaned up the best you can. Put some grease on it. And we're going to go ahead and try this off. Like I said, you got to put this in brake maintenance mode. We're going to, hopefully that's going to, actually like it's pretty loose. Yeah, looks like so. All right, I can't do it with one hand. All right, we'll be back. Okay, as looking at the pads, she was down there pretty good on this one. On this side as well. So she probably had maybe another 3,000 miles on them, but the other ones were right there, ready to go. Okay, so those are off. You can see that's still parking.
The parking brake is retracted as far as it's going to go. So we're still going to have to twist that to reseat it. Then for the hydraulic part of the piston, going to have to compress it with a compressor.
Okay, let's go ahead and get the parking brake compressed. I bought a Maddox brake servicing kit, and what you're going to have is get this. That's the number on that one. You get smaller ones. And then what's that? What the nubs here are going to do is going to sit in those holes, and then you're going to twist it in to compress it. Okay, and it didn't take that long. Maybe a turn and a half to get it to seat, and that's probably what the putting it in maintenance mode does, is backs it back in. Because I'll tell you the truth, I didn't do it on the other side, and it took me about 4 or 5 turns to get it back in. All right, so at this point we're going to go ahead and compress the piston back in, because now you're going under your regular brake hydraulic system. And just another tip, if you don't have a compressor system like that, if you've got, say, a grinder, a battery operated grinder, and then you've got the wrench that helps you change your discs from cutting to grinding, that probably will fit in those divots, because I have my Cobalt system and it fit in there on the other side just to try it. Okay, just use your compressor, and then you'll get your piston all the way back where it needs to be, so you can put your new pads on here. Now remember, you have to go ahead and pump your brake to get them out and adjusted to your brake pads, and then I guess you go ahead and take it out of brake maintenance mode. Okay, we got our caliper back on there. I got the sliders all nice and lubed up, started. Make sure you start them by hands. You do not want to cross thread them. And get those tightened up, and then we just got to put our spring on. All right, they're nice and torqued down. Let's put our little plugs go. Right there. Right there. Sliders are torqued down. Let's put our little plugs back in the slider holes. I'll keep that sealed the best possible. Fortunately, I live in a freaking rust belt, so everything is rusty. All right, make sure you check your hoses and stuff for cracks. You're gonna have to do that if they are, replace them. Okay. All right, next thing, I gotta put this little spring-a-ling back on here, and that's going to go like so. Over here, these little pins go in that little hole right here. Let's see that bottom one first. The bottom one So it's pressed in behind that. This one's going to come up behind this. I don't know if I can do it by hand, one hand or not. Oh, I can't do one-handed. All right. Okay, there she is. Just make sure you seat those really good in the holes. And that just keeps this part of the piston contracted back here, because it is, they just slide, they're just on rubber in there. So to do that, good. Alrighty. Okay, so thanks for watching. Like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, definitely share. And this was changing the brake pads on a
Remember, you got to take it back out of the brake maintenance
2014
mode by doing the
Fusion
same
Titanium
procedure, but this time pulling
Robo.
up on your parking brake button.